Hey everybody, this is Darren Sabedra again with the Mercury News, East Space Times, Bay Area News Group, here with Mike Lefkow. Mike, week 9. Can you believe it?
No.
9.
Should be a little earlier in the season yet.
Yes. We're not even in mid-October, and we're already just already looking at the playoffs almost.
Some of these teams are finished in 2 weeks.
It's unbelievable. Anyhow, we have one top 10 matchup this week. Looks like I will be at that game. Valley Christian at home after its 7-3 loss last week to St. Francis. They get the other heavyweight in the WCAL. Serra, the defending champion, will be coming out to South San Jose to play Valley up on the hilltop. Big game for both teams. Do you think this game will tell us where Serra is, where St. Francis is, and where Valley Christian is?
I think it very well could, yeah. I mean, each team has something to play for, so.
And each team has blown out everybody else. Serra just is coming off, what, a 57-6 win over Reardon. Valley, before playing St. Francis, had blown out Sacred Heart Cathedral and St. Ignatius. Valley needs this win if it wants a piece of the league championship. Serra wins. It's going to come down to that last game of the season when they play St. Francis.
I think right now Serra is just, they're a step above all the other teams in the WCAL, so I get
You can't see Valley winning this game?
No,
you don't see a Los Gatos type...
No, not this time. I think Serra's starting to hit stride.
You think Serra wins handily?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think double-digit win.
On the road, double-digit win.
Yeah, I think Serra's starting to hit stride a little bit.
Right. And Valley's going to have to score. You know, we had heard earlier in the season that Serra wasn't matching up with some of the other teams on the line. Maybe they have that figured out. I mean, you know, they've been rolling since they played Pittsburgh.
It just, to me, Valley's proof came last week when they had a huge opportunity to beat St. Francis and they didn't. And I
held
just
them to 61 yards.
But they lost the game.
That's true.
I mean, the thing is yardage is beautiful. But, I mean, the 49ers had 400 and something yards yesterday and still lost to Arizona. So I think that
they needed to punch one in.
Yes, they did. They needed one touchdown. And I'm not saying Serra's going to go out and beat them 45-0, but I think Serra wins handily.
Like 28-7,
28-7, 21-7,
35-14, something like that.
35-14.
You might be right. We will see. I haven't seen Serra this season, but they obviously with Luke Batari, the veteran quarterback, senior quarterback, that's a good place to start your offense.
Right.
So, anyhow, you will be at Monta Vista. Monta Vista fell out of the top 10 this week after its big loss last week at De La Salle. They'll be at home for a non-league game, even though these teams are both technically in the EBAL. It's a non-league game against Grenada, which looks as if it's going to win the Valley division of the East Bay Athletic League. What do you think? I mean, is this a big game for Grenada? Big game for Monta Vista? What do you think?
I don't know if it's a big game really for either team. I think Monta Vista is going to be in the Division I playoffs. Mm-hmm. I think Grenada's fate is set in the Division II playoffs. You know, obviously this will be a game that'll determine seeding, bragging rights. For Grenada, yeah, it would be a nice victory for Grenada. They go on the road, they beat Monta Vista. I don't know the last time Grenada beat Monta Vista. I'd have to look it up, but it would be a very nice victory for them. Monta Vista's coming in. They figure they've got to be the favorite, but you know, Grenada's
especially Grenada coming off of a big win last week against Amador Valley, which will give them the Valley Division Championship, and also they had a close loss to Cal.
Right.
So Grenada definitely a good team. We'll see if they can go on the road and hand Monta Vista another loss.
Well, you know, the thing is, Division II is going to be a little tougher in the North Coast section this year.
A lot tougher.
And so I think the thing that for Grenada is it's a chance to, if they can go out and beat Monta Vista, you got a chance to go up in the seeding a little bit. So sure, it's a big game for Grenada. Monta Vista, I think their fate is set. Obviously, they want to finish as good as they can. They can still be 8-2. They've got a good team.
We should explain why it's going to be tougher in Division Two. Bishop O'Dowd is now in Division Two. Rancho Cotati is now in Division Two. Marin Catholic is now in Division Two, and Camp Olindo is still in Division Two.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to look at it. Last year there were just a couple teams that you really thought had a prayer in that division. Now it'll be a little bit more competitive. The final four should be pretty good, and maybe even the final 8.
Right. De La Salle back at home, coming off its 55-0 win last week. Now they play Foothill, which some can argue is Foothill even worthy of being in the Mountain Division this year, given what's unfolded on the field. Foothill did have a respectable, was it 14-3 or 17-3, something like that?
14-3, it was 0-0 at the half.
Against Cal. Now they go on the road to Concord to play De La Salle.
Yeah. What do you say about this game? De La Salle is probably going to be holding down the score at some point.
Running clock.
Yeah,
nobody gets hurt.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of those games on the schedule where, it's, are they all mismatches in the EBAL?
Let's cut to the chase. This cries out for what they need to do is make these leagues competitively balanced, and that you've got to start changing teams around. You can't leave. De La Salle should not be playing in the EBAL. Clayton Valley should not be playing in the Diablo Foothill Athletic League. Maybe you put them all in the BVAL and you start balancing the competition. De La Salle is probably a step above every team in the East Bay. But, these
probably
games, definitely. These games, there's no mystery to these games.
Right.
If De La Salle decides to hold out the first string, maybe it'll be competitive.
Right.
Maybe not.
There's really been no mystery for 27 years in the East Bay or the North Coast section or the Bay Area.
Well, quite frankly, if you're the two coaches, the De La Salle coaches are going to make sure their best players don't get hurt, because they would hate to have somebody suffer a freak injury before the playoffs.
Right.
And Foothill, which might make the playoffs, they probably don't want any of their key players to get hurt. So, there's no point to these games.
Right. Well, I guess there is a point because they need the win to keep going towards the Open Division's top seed.
Yeah, okay.
Switching gears. What other games strike our Clayton Valley Charter on the road? Miramonte, 1 loss. But you did a little digging on Miramonte, and you found a schedule that, how would you describe that schedule?
Well, Miramonte's schedule has not been that strong this year, and I think Miramonte has a decent team. They're well coached. But they're not going to play any closer than, I don't think anyway, they're going to play any closer than Camp Olindo did last week. And earlier in the year, Las Lomas beat Miramonte 41-13. So, I would have to figure Clayton Valley, I'm not saying you're going to get 62-7, but they should win comfortably.
Right. Menlo Atherton will be at home to play Menlo School. Those teams are separated by just a few miles. It's a Bay Division game in the Peninsula Athletic League. MA looked, I guess, impressive in the second half. 30-8 win over a previously unbeaten Terra Nova. Now they'll be at home for Menlo School. Does Menlo have any shot in this game?
I can see the same kind of score as last week, 22-point difference. A little more scoring, maybe it's 49-27 or something, but Menlo Atherton wins.
Wilcox at home against Homestead, and we probably wouldn't even be noting this game if not for, obviously, our Offensive Player of the Year from last season, the St. Francis kid, Darrell Page, who is now at Homestead. Wilcox should roll in this game.
Yeah, I think,
Homestead's 0-6, Wilcox 7-0, and ranked in the top 10. Coming off what his coach even called a trap game last week against Los Gatos. I got to think Wilcox will be focused and should roll handily in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Darryl Page is not going to find quite the same line at Homestead as he had at St. Francis, so.
Right. Any other games pique your interest? Acalanes is on the road at Campolindo. I mean, that's a
interesting game. I mean, Acalanes could give Campolindo problems, but at the end, I think Campolindo wins.
Bishop O'Dowd going to Piedmont.
Yeah, Bishop O'Dowd wins that game.
Yeah, and we were out at Las Lomas this afternoon, and that's quite an impressive squad they have out there.
Yeah, good story. They're 8-0. I think they've got a very good team.
They were 0-10 2 years ago.
They were 0-10
We were told that a number
ago.
of times by the players.
And, I mean, I think most people felt they would bounce back when Doug Longero came back and took over the program after he was at DVC or Diablo Valley College for a few years.
4 years, he said.
He's a good coach. They've got some good
guy,
players.
he told us.
That's right. He's a Milpitas guy. So he knows what good football is. And he had some success when he was at Las Lomas the last time. And when he came back, a lot of the coaches in the DFAL said, you watch. Las Lomas will be coming back. I don't know if anybody thought it would be this quickly, but
right.
That Isaiah Newell, boy, he's got the looks, doesn't he?
He does have the looks, and you've got Blake Thorpe out there. And, the quarterback was very sharp.
Yes.
Talking to him.
The backup running back is supposed to be real good, and they've got some young linemen that are pretty good. And
they got 2 defenders who have 13 sacks apiece. They tried to hold down the score against, who was that again? I mean, there was one score.
Well, I think they beat Monte Vista 81-0.
But that was the one that they had 4 pick sixes.
Right.
So
I think they've tried to hold down the score against a few teams, and sometimes you just can't. Right. Las Lomas has not played a super tough schedule, but it'll be interesting to see how they fare in 2 weeks when they go up to Benicia.
Right. That will be a big game, and then the Division III playoffs will be a big game to see where they end up seated.
Yeah.
They can get, because Cardinal Newman, as Coach Longero pointed out, is in that bracket.
Eureka's in
that bracket. So.
Yeah, so there's some good teams in that bracket.
Anything else before we wrap up another one of these preview videos?
No.
Sign up for the newsletter.
Sign up for the newsletter.
The numbers continue to climb, so either people want to read it or they listen here and feel sorry for us and decide to put their email address.
I think people like, especially checking out the top 25 and.
Well, we only give them the top 10 in the newsletter.
Yeah, that's
Then they
true,
have to
that's
go.
True.
They have to do the click.
Right.
But we do try to give a lot of things in the newsletter that even if you don't subscribe, which we obviously want you to subscribe, but if you don't, you're still going to get something in the newsletter that's worth putting your email address in and getting that thing every Monday and Thursday.
And that's all it is the email address.
Right. That's it.
So most high school students can figure that out.
Yes.
Most of them have email addresses, and most of them know how to use the internet.
So tell your team to sign up for it.
Especially and anyone who wants to give me a lesson on using the internet, hey, I'm open.
Oh, come on. A video.
There you go.
Yes, even though you're here, you need, that's it for me, or for me.
Yeah.
I'm good. All right,
I said
guys.
my piece.
Yep. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, you made bold proclamations. Sarah, big win, double-digit win Friday night. Should I even go to the game?
It's not even the bold proclamations. I just am so stuck on balancing these leagues.
Oh, that too.
I mean, just the idea of some of these games, you know what they're going to be like when you go out there. And it's taking nothing away from great programs like De La Salle or Clayton Valley Charter, but put them in tougher leagues.
Right. I missed our trip out to De La Salle today.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't go out there. Well, we were out at Las Lomas.
Yes. Next week.
Next week we'll be back to De La Salle.
All right.
Will we?
I don't know. It's San Ramon Valley week, right?
Yeah.
Or Cal week?
No, it's San Ramon
Valley. All right. That's it for us from lovely Walnut Creek.